Every time I talk UK politics, are you saying you don't got a rump niddly pump who done's dissolve the parliament once time too? Or we've got a king and you've got a what's-he bit, a president? Look, that's any different. By Jove. All right, it's time for you guys to educate me. All right, you know, I'm sitting down, I'm gulping, I'm swallowing, sweat is beating on my forehead. Are you ready to learn about UK politics? And I say, yes, I am, VGG. What does this mean? The Labour Party is set to win in a landslide on account of them not being as incompetent as the Tories, which is probably true. And now, breaking, Tory MPs are working on a plot tonight to call off the general election, which is to be on July 4th, Freedom Day, by replacing Rishi Sunak before Parliament is dissolved next Thursday. How does that call off the general election? Yeah, how would that delay the election? To my American mind, the idea of anything happening within the government delaying the election is impossible. Like, in America, like, the election is the election. It happens when it happens. The PM sets the election date? That's insane. Oh, it's an early election? We're doing an early election? This isn't like a regularly scheduled election? Because the PM has to ask the king for permission to dissolve parliament. That starts the election. Whoa. Okay, hold on. The PM decides when the election happens as long as it is within 5 years of the previous election. Insane. So much political maneuvering, so much potential for abuse. Insane. Okay, so what is the goal of these Tory MPs? They want to... So Rishi Sunak is determining the election to be on July 4th, but the Tories don't want to lose to the Labour Party, which they will if the election is held on July 4th. So they are trying to replace Rishi Sunak with another person who will delay the election further to the 5-year point, therefore giving them more time to hold power. Do I have that correctly? Like they want to push back the clock to avoid an objective loss? So this is just desperation. Like they're going to lose no matter what. They're just trying to hold power for a little while longer. And Rishi Sunak just wants out now. Rishi Sunak is like, okay, I get it. You know, everyone hates me. Fine, I'll leave. Thank you. Pretty much, yeah. Okay. So this is about the general election. But wait, I want to know, okay, who are the Tory MPs? He was going to be kicked, but he called an election? Well, no, well, he was... Right, yeah, he wanted the early election so that he doesn't get kicked. Okay, but they want to kick him and replace him with someone else. Okay. And how do you do that? With a vote of no confidence? The deadline the Tories want. The latest possible date is January 28th, 2025. This is because Parliament must be dissolved by December 17th, 2024, exactly 5 years after it first met following the last general election. Okay, what is the relevance of Parliament? Wait, if the deadline for the parliamentary election is after Parliament's dissolution in December 17th, does that mean there is a month-and-a-half long period where the UK has no parliament? It's been dissolved and the elections haven't been held yet? Yes? What the fuck? This is normal for parliamentary countries? Okay, maybe it is. I don't know. Parliament is dissolved for 6 weeks leading up to the election date? Why isn't there a regular transfer of power? That's so weird. That'd be like, I know we have congressional sessions, but that'd be like, yeah, it's 6 months before 2022. You know, we have to remove all of Congress. What? It's 6 weeks, not 6 months. Did I say 6 months? I meant 6 weeks, a month and a half. It's because every MP is also reelected. I just don't understand why you would have, by law, a forced government shutdown, parliamentary shutdown, for 6 weeks. It's not a shutdown. I would say the dissolution of Parliament is kind of a parliamentary shutdown. I mean, if you're I mean, what does it mean to dissolve it? The government and civil service run the country. They just don't pass any legislation. The UK Parliament is also dissolved every summer for holidays. Wait, okay, by dissolution of Parliament, they don't mean dissolving Parliament then. They just mean you guys take a break. Sorry, by dissolving, I assumed, like, I didn't think they meant recess. Okay, that makes a bit... Yeah, we would just call it a parliamentary recess. That would be the term we would use. Okay, dissolving is a... Dissolving means recess? Okay, yeah, to you... Okay. From an American perspective, that was like dissolving means you completely strike the whole institution. Like, it's done, you know? You destroy it, you bomb it, you know? The dissolution of Parliament before an election is different, as all 650 MPs become vacant until after the general... Well, yeah, you're replacing them. Okay, well, anyway. Yeah, you're thinking of it like the king dissolved Parliament and instituted direct rule. Yeah, when I hear, like, dissolving Parliament, I hear, like, yeah, we're like destroying it and it's an authoritarian government. Now, that's what that term would mean. Like, in an American context, I don't think dissolve gets used in as light of a way as it is being applied here. But okay. It was a semantic confusion that has been addressed. So, okay. You thought they were turning all representatives into a fine paste? Yeah, a little bit, maybe. A little bit, yeah, kind of. So what does the king have to do with this? Rubber stamp? Okay. The prime minister requests the king dissolve parliament. Man, this is what happens when you have a country that's been around for as long as Britain, but you never have a cultural revolution, okay? Mao knew what he was doing. If you have, like, yeah, man, why is it that, like, the Grand Vizier may only step on the black-colored tiles of the palace when addressing the minister? Oh, well, because in 1186 AD, no, at some point you have to just, you have to properly, you have to do a bit of a reset. You know, mostly ceremonial stuff. Yeah, this is dumb ceremony. We need good ceremony. Don't you like old shit like in Barcelona? Yeah, I like old shit in Barcelona, like the buildings. I don't know if I'd like the idea of them having to ask their king for permission to do any basic rote governmental function. All parliamentary systems do this. Their presidents dissolve the parliament. Yes, but presidents are elected and the king isn't. Okay, anyway. Every time I talk UK politics, are you saying you don't got a rump niddly pump who done's dissolve the parliament once time too? Or we've got a king and you've got a a president? Look, that's any different. By Jove. As if... Can we stop fighting? Please. Shared class interest across borders, okay? As distasteful as it may at times seem. Okay, so, yeah, they're trying to hold it together a little bit longer. Do we have any number, by the way, on how many Tory MPs are working on this? Because you would need a decent number of them. Post from the journalist who leaked the Tory plot by the party is furious that Sunak looks like he went behind their back. Wow! Extraordinary but true, some furious Conservative MPs are tonight working on a plot to call off the general election by replacing Rishi Sunak as leader. So you're saying Rishi Sunak announcing the election date, like that was a big upset. Nobody expected it to be this early. Is that true? Because it is like 7 months early. 15% of current Tory MPs must submit letters of no confidence to trigger a leadership contest. Is it really only 15%? That's not very many at all. You could make 15%. Okay. 15%, that's like 15%. All right. So if there's a leadership contest, who could beat Rishi Sunak? Who has any credibility in J.K. Rowling? The lettuce lady, probably. It can't be Bojo. Let the lettuce run, yeah. It'll be Johnson again. Do you really think they're going to run Boris Johnson again? And if so, why would they do that? I don't think they're going to do that. Boris Johnson comes across genuinely, like, sane compared to Boris isn't an MP. Oh, yeah, he didn't even run again. Yeah. Yeah, Boris is, like, sane compared to these people, man. It turns out we will have an election on the 4th now. It's not being pushed forward. Has this already fallen through? Oh, it's a meme. I get it. They also kicked Sky News, which is very conservative, I know, out of their campaign launch an hour or two again for no reason. What the hell is going on?
Campaign event.
At a Conservative Party launch, this is where the Prime Minister is going to speak in the next few minutes, and I'm being forcibly removed. We just simply wanted to have access tonight at Sky News, but unfortunately, we're told that because there are pool arrangements in place, we're not allowed to be here. This is, by the way, what we're trying to film is the campaign event where the Prime Minister is due to speak in the next couple of minutes. It's in front of Conservative activists. It's eventually trying to get across the message that we had in Downing Street today from the Prime Minister talking about stability. I'm sure he's going to talk about the decision he's made. But as you can see, we just don't have access to it. It's not entirely clear why we don't have access to it. But as I say, this was meant to be the campaign.
Can somebody explain to me what exactly you mean when you say they want Rishi Sunak out, or Rishi Sunak wanted out so Labour got the blame for the Brexit customs? What customs are we talking about?
A launch for the Prime Minister, for the Conservative leader, in front of party activists, in front of those loyalists who are going to support him during this campaign, who are going to go out and knock on doors, etc. The hope, of course, of the Prime Minister is this is a decision, a gamble that he's taken. So we're going to be put into an elevator here. Our bags are up here. We're probably going to have to leave at this stage because we're going to lose contact. We have to go into an elevator through security. But I will.
Why would they want to oust Sky News? What the fuck is going on? When was this? When did this happen? A few hours ago. So this is not in response to the counter coup. I mean, maybe, Comrade Robin Hood. The customs checks are due to leaving the EU where imports have to be checked. Yeah, but haven't those already been applied? Are you saying that those custom checks are only now to be applied? Like up until this point, they haven't had to deal with it? When are they getting applied? Oh, that's going to be really rough. They're only now being applied? The customs are irrelevant. There's no way for him to avoid blame. You've underestimated how fucking stupid the average voter is. It's been a disaster. I really do feel bad for British people, you know? Like, your right wing genuinely makes our right wing look competent. Our right wing is far more competent than your right wing, but our right wing is a lot more openly fascistic because British, like, stiff upper lip civility actually prevents the upper crust of the Tories from being as militantly fascist as they might be. You know? You're just too civility minded. Even your, like Boris Johnson is, like, Boris Johnson does and says, it did and said, I guess, a lot of things that were fascist aligned, but it's difficult to really mount up a fascist movement when you're limited by the fact that all of your ultra right-leaning guys are these like super posh, upper crust, you know, private school attending aristocrats. It genuinely gets in the way. The aristocracy is not by default a fascist social class, you know? It's that their adherence to tradition and civility gets in the way of it. It can happen. It's not impossible. There are just competing interests. So basically, because the UK is older than America, I think that genuinely does play into it a little bit. I really think that if a country gets too old and too bogged down with tradition, something which absolutely describes the UK, you know, it can be very much to the detriment of that country, yeah. I mean, if you think of the, like, continuity of the current British government, that shit goes back a really long time. I know there have been upsets. I know, you know, Cromwell or whatever the fuck. Like, I know stuff has happened, but, like, for the most part, UK Mao win. We need a UK Mao is what I'm saying, yeah. To its detriment, but doesn't that mean the far right is weaker in the UK? Yeah, yeah. I think there's ups and downs to being so old that it bogs you down. Your country is dying, but it keeps your fascists from getting too militant.